Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be another edition of Stash Swatching Before Shopping. And if you're new or you haven't seen one of these videos before, I'm just going to choose a category of makeup and go through everything I have and kind of contrast and compare and see what I have and maybe see if I have too many of a certain shade that are too similar to one another or dupes, and I can use that information later before I go shopping and bring anything home. So let's get started. Today I'm going to do my pink blushes. Alright, so these are all the blushes I will be swatching today, plus some other ones that I've already swatched, just to compare. Alright, so I'll be starting with the Stila Convertible Color Dual Lip and Cheek product in the shade Gerbera. So that is Gerbera. Next up, from the Balm How About Them Apples palette, I'm just going to be swatching, I think all of them actually, yeah. So Pie, Candy, Cobbler, Crisp, and Caramel. Alright, so that's Pie, Candy, Cobbler, Crisp, and Caramel. Next up, I have these two Josie Maran Coconut Water Colored Cheek Gelays. This one is in Pink Escape, and this is Poppy Paradise. And I did swatch this with my coral blushes, but it looked pretty pink then, so I just thought I would swatch it again. Alright, so this is Pink Escape, and this is Poppy Paradise. And when you have them next to each other, this one does look kind of brighter and more orangey than that one, but when this was with my coral blushes, it looked very pink. So I think it's kind of interesting to see it in both contexts. So next up, I'm going to swatch this shade from the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush Palette, and it is in Luminous Flush. So this is Luminous Flush. Then I'm going to swatch Pink from the Lorac Pro To Go palette, and this is pink right here. This is Magic from Tarte, and this was from their Black Friday Sephora set. And that is Magic right there. This is Tarte's Unleashed from the Rainforest After Dark palette, and that is Unleashed right there. Next, I'm going to do Sex Fantasy and Deep Throat from the NARS Virtual Domination Cheek palette. So this is Sex Fantasy and this is Deep Throat. And this is NARS Miss Ingenuette or something like that. Yeah. That is right down here. This is the So Susan Universal Blush that I received in my Glossy box. That is right here. Now this is the Balm's Frat Boy, and I did swatch this in my Peach Blush collection, but I'm going to add it here as well, just because it's kind of an in-between shade. So this is Frat Boy. I'm also going to swatch the Tarte Exposed Blush right here. Finally, I forgot to swatch this one. It is the Too Faced blush. It doesn't have a name. It's from a holiday 2013 little collection that came in this compact. And as you can tell, I broke it twice. First this eyeshadow broke and then the blush broke, so it kind of looks really gross. And that is the Too Faced blush right there. Alright, so let's talk about this. So these four are all very different. I just included the red because I had nowhere else to swatch it, but or actually these five, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 are from the same cheek palette, so they're obviously all pretty different. And then this one is also a cream, and it's pretty similar to the one that I did use up from that palette. So it's kind of a light pink with a slight peach color to it. So yeah, these are all very different. I do like having cream blushes, so I wouldn't say any of those are duplicates, but I don't know if I really need that many cream blushes, so I think the main reason I have so many is just that one palette, and if I used that up or got rid of it, I wouldn't necessarily need that many cream blushes in my collection. I would probably just want 1 or 2. Probably just one though. And then these two are the Cheek Gelays from Josie Maran and Marin, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. But this one does look a lot brighter than this one, and this one looked really just kind of like this one when it was with the coral blushes. So this is just one of those in-betweeny kind of colors, but I do want to use that up this year, and I'll probably wait until the summer just because it's a little bit of a brighter shade. And I am trying to use this one up as well, but I don't think I would repurchase either of these. But I don't really know. This one is kind of similar to this one from the How About Them Balm How About Them Apples from the Balm. And then this one is kind of a darker pink. It doesn't really look like either of these. Maybe a little bit like this one when it's blended out. But yeah, so I do have a lot of cream blushes, but in the long run I think I would be fine with just having one cream blush. And this one right here is the only shimmer one from that palette. It's called Cider, no not Cider, Crisp. And that's the only one I really don't like and don't ever plan on using, just because it's just way too shimmery even when you blend it out. I'm just not a fan of that one. Alright, so moving on. So what I'm seeing is these two are the NARS blushes from the holiday palettes, and they are pretty different than everything else I have. Most of the ones I have are warm pinks, and these two are definitely cool. This one is Sex Fantasy, and it took a lot to build up the swatch so you could see it. I'm kind of going to have to use that as a layering blush, I think. It's more of a lavender, and then this one is kind of a more true cool blue toned pink, and I don't have anything like that. I've never worn it. I got it recently, so I'm not sure how I'll like it, just because I'm clearly drawn to this warmer colors, but I think it's okay having these in my collection. I don't need any other cool toned pink blushes for sure though. Alright, and this is the Tarte Magic blush, and it looks really similar to this one, but then again they are cream and powder, so they are different, but I probably don't need both of them, and I will probably try to work through those cream blushes first because they are, oops, am I blocking it? Okay, because they go bad faster. But like, yeah, all of these are looking pretty similar, and once you blend them out, they're going to look even more similar. So I probably will try to downsize some of these. I'm not doing these as decluttering videos, more just to kind of see what I have and keep myself from buying new things. But for some reason with the lip products I more think I can use them up, but the blush, it just seems overwhelming to use these up. So I probably will sell or pass on some of these. This is the So Susan blush. I'm not really a fan of that. This Hint blush is one that I kind of want to focus on this year because it's the oldest blush in my collection. Is this one NARS? This is, or not NARS, this is the Tarte Unleashed blush from the Rainforest After Dark palette, and it is really similar to this one down here, which is Exposed. It's just a tinge more pink, but blended out they look very similar, and so I'm kind of disappointed by that, knowing that, because I did just get this one at the end in December. I did get it on sale, but I'm not sure if I really want to keep both of these, but since this one's in a palette and this one is just on its own, it might be worth just having, because if I want to travel or something, I don't know if I would necessarily want to bring that whole palette. Although maybe I would just bring that whole palette because that's kind of the appeal of that palette. But yeah, so I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think, if I should keep both of these or if I should get rid of one of them. I'm not planning on getting rid of that palette, so I'd probably get rid of Exposed, but I do really like it. And it's new, so that kind of makes me sad, but I really don't think I need to have both of them, and I don't think I really need both of these, but if I had to pick, it would be this one, which is the one I got in a swap. This one came in the palette, and it's just, I'd say, the dud of the palette, along with the highlighter. And then this one is NARS Deep Throat. Let me swatch NARS Orgasm too. So I don't know if you can see this kind of little circle area is NARS Orgasm, and this is Deep Throat. So the thing with Deep Throat is I have the mini one from the 500 point perk, and even though it's mini, it's pretty big. A full-size NARS blush is, I think, a full-size NARS blush is 0.16 ounces, and the mini is 0.14, so it is almost the size of a large one. It's not really mini at all. So I have the Deep Throat in this. So I have that Deep Throat, and then it also came in the NARS Virtual Domination Cheek Palette. So I'm not really sure. So the problem here is I have one full-size Orgasm and two smaller sizes of Deep Throat. And I think I prefer Deep Throat over Orgasm. So I'm kind of trying to decide if I should keep Orgasm and get rid of the mini Deep Throat. And by get rid of, I don't mean throw away. I mean pass on or sell or donate or something. Like, just because I say get rid of doesn't mean garbage. So just before anyone tries to comment saying don't throw that away. Yeah, so my thing is with these three blushes, the two Deep Throats and the one Orgasm, I do prefer Deep Throat over Orgasm, and they are pretty similar. Orgasm is slightly more peachy though. I feel like I want Orgasm just because it's so iconic, but I do prefer wearing it Deep Throat. So I can either get rid of Orgasm and keep the 2 Deep Throats, because part of me thinks it's nice to have this one in just a little mini form, because it would be kind of cumbersome to use that large palette and carry that around. Not that I travel that much. I don't know why I should really bring that in, but it is nice to have this little one. I can throw it in my purse, or maybe I should downsize this one and keep Orgasm, or maybe I should downsize both this one and the Orgasm and just have the Deep Throat in the palette. So weigh in please and let me know what you think about that, because I am kind of struggling with that decision. What else haven't I talked about yet? I haven't talked about the Lorac Pro To Go. I mean, that's a nice, pretty basic pink color, but that is another product I just never reach for. I kind of bought it with the intent of using it when I travel, and I have brought it on trips before, but I obviously do not travel enough to use up 2 full blushes and all the eyeshadow in that palette. I was looking at the palette the other day, and there's like 12 plus grams of eyeshadow in that palette alone, and that's more than in the Lorac Pro itself. That has like 8.8, I believe. So lately, I bought that. It was one of the first bigger things I bought when it comes to makeup, and I do really like it. I think it's really handy, but now when I travel, I just have so much different stuff that I end up bringing that palette and then a bunch of other stuff as well. So I usually don't end up using those blushes when I travel, and I use other eyeshadows with it. So I'm beginning to question if whether I should hold on to that Lorac Pro To Go palette or not. I mean, everything in it is really great. I just don't reach for it, and it's not worth keeping just for traveling when I don't travel that often. So that is something I am considering getting rid of. Of all these pink shades, I'm just going to kind of ignore the cream ones because they are a different formula. I would probably only want one cool one. So one cool one kind of more natural one like this, one more pink, and maybe one shimmery one. So what is that, 4? And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, so I have a lot of room to downsize here, and it's obviously really hard to use up a powder blush, so I'm not going to be, it would take me years to use up all of these ones, so I will be probably passing some more of these on. But let me know what you think, especially about the Tarte blushes I mentioned and the NARS blushes I mentioned. And I'm hoping by the end of 2015 I'll be done with these 2 and maybe one more of these cream blushes. And yeah, I don't have my eyes set on any of the powder blushes to use up necessarily, but I'm gonna start working on those creams and then just maybe not buy any more cream blushes for a while. So yeah, so we will see how this goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!